Hey, I'm Tiny.
And it's Katie.
All powered by Roots Hair Design, Route 11 in Marion. We are so sorry that it has been, 6 weeks?
It's been a massive hiatus.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
We certainly don't mean that, but the Tiny and Katie show is back in more ways than one. So what's been happening is we are now, as we record this, at the end of Katie's 4th week back at WAYZ full-time.
Yes, and this is why there's been a little bit of a hiatus, because in these last 4 weeks, I went through a move, a job change, getting acclimated, and we haven't been able to jump on and bring everybody up to speed on our lives. But here we are.
Basically, what Katie's saying is we had to train her again. And
yes.
Man, that has been a process and a half.
Everything is so different.
Right.
But yeah, so now I'm living in Pennsylvania and renting out my house, and Tiny and I have been back on the air doing the Tiny and Katie show back on WAYZ. Here and there.
Yeah, here and there. So we don't really know what the future. We know that Katie's not going anywhere. We know she's going to be on WAYZ. It's just we don't know where her permanent home is or who it's with. Now, the obvious assumption is that it's going to be the Tiny and Katie show, and we hope that's the case too, but we'll see where that goes. We should know by, I'd say, next month in August at some point.
What we thought we could do for this week's podcast is let you listen to a little bit of the Tiny and Katie show from WAYZ from the last 4 weeks.
104.7 WAYZ, I'm Tiny, and I have... hang on a minute. Just hang on a second.
You didn't even put my microphone on.
No, but amazingly, we can still hear you. Wonders never cease. Okay. So I have the distinct pleasure to reintroduce to you the wonderful, talented, and she is back, Katie.
Hi, Tiny.
How are you?
I'm very, very excited to be back. We've been saying it a lot since I've decided to come back to WAYZ. It just feels like coming home.
Yeah.
It feels like it just feels like coming home. It feels like just yesterday you and I were doing this exact same thing, except I was over there and you were over here. But it feels really good to be back. I haven't been on the air in almost 9 years, so this is kind of crazy. My very last day.
Well, I might have to put another
This
music
could go
band
on.
here.
This could go on for
Hang
a while.
on a second.
My very last day on WAYZ, when we were doing the Tiny and Katie show, was July 11th, 2014. So almost, minus a couple weeks, almost 9 years to the day is when I left. And I've been really excited because I've known for a few months now that I was coming back.
Yeah, and imagine how hard it's been.
I couldn't say anything.
And I couldn't say anything either.
Yeah.
We've hinted on our podcast. So we've been doing the podcast, the Tiny and Katie show, for a little over a year now, which you can find that
we really appreciate the 3 people who check it out. We
both
really
of
love
you are awesome.
You guys are fantastic.
That thing gets 300 views every single time we post an episode, 299 of which are Katie.
I watch, and my mother. And my mother.
Your
yes,
mom.
between the two of us. Yes, that's true.
So Katie's back. She's going to be spending the week here with me, and you'll be hearing some back and forth, whereas it might be a day or a few hours where it's just her and it's just me, but we're trying to get her reacclimated to everything. And essentially, this is a live training that we're doing, or retraining.
So if you hear, for a couple minutes that there's nothing happening, it's not your radio.
That's just
me.
the inside of Katie's head.
It's me trying to figure everything out. So bear with me as we move forward here.
And I would say if you hear mispronunciations or things
absolutely.
like that, that's not Katie training. That's just
how I am.
Being Katie.
Yes, absolutely.
So for now, the Tiny and Katie show is back on 104.7 WAYZ. Why did you do that? I totally forgot.
Locally at 104.7 and around the world with the WAYZ app.
Baby, write this down.
It's Tiny.
On 104.7 WAYZ.
And Katie, I'm here as well.
One more time for those in the back.
And for Ben and AJ. All right, yesterday was an incredible day. It was one of the greatest days of my life. Tiny texts me. I wake up at 6 o'clock. Actually, I was not awake at 6, but my phone starts going off at 6. I look, it's Tiny, and it says, gas at Sheetz is $1.77.
Yep.
And I wrote back and I said, what? Now, the what was supposed to be
like what?
And I just wrote what? And Tiny writes
what in a question mark?
Tiny writes back, it says, what didn't you understand about that text? Then I called him some words I cannot say on the air.
No, absolutely not.
But anyway, so I was really excited about the $1.77. I guess you had already gone and filled up your tank.
So the night before, on Monday evening, I had seen something Sheetz put on social media. What does gas and Independence Day have in common.
Mm-hmm.
And someone made a comment and said, "Oh, I just saw this on something else. You're going to have gas for $1.77 tomorrow." I'm like, okay, whatever. So Monday morning, I get up, go to the gym. I leave there and I go over to, I needed gas. And I'm like, oh my God, this is legit.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's how the tide changes, right? So I pull in the parking lot right away. I just casually go up, get the gas, $1.77. I go in, get a cup of coffee. There's not that many people here. It's like 6:30 in the morning.
Game changer. A
Right.
couple hours later.
So by the time this is how quickly it happens. I go in to get the coffee. By the time I come out with the coffee, there's already lines forming. Oh boy, here we go. So I'm trying to get like Mary's car and mom and stepdad and get everybody on board. Like, I'll help you, get the deal. Why not?
Here was my experience with it. I had to go back to my house in Winchester, so I was driving from Greencastle to Winchester, and I passed a ton of Sheetz on the way. And I thought, I'll stop at the Sheetz that looks like it has the least amount of lines. Well, that was silly of me to think, because all of the lines were so long.
Sure.
They were going out onto the roads.
The main roads, yeah.
What I noticed was that everybody was just forming one long line on one pump or two pumps instead of dispersing.
The one right where they went in.
Yes, instead of dispersing and going to the other pumps and making the lines a little bit shorter.
Right.
I ended up stopping at the Sheetz. I can't remember which one I ended up stopping at, but there were arguments. There were a lot of arguments of people who were, quote unquote, cutting in front of each other. And
I heard reports.
I was scared.
I heard reports, fights, shouting, carrying on.
Yes.
But, here's what gets me. And by the way, and I don't normally say this or care about this, but I posted this on my Facebook page, on the Tiny WAYZ Facebook page yesterday morning. It's just a picture of the marquee with the price of it. And 500,000 people saw that post. So thank you for sharing that. I mean, it was shared thousands of times. I did not expect that.
Thanks to Tiny, I had to wait in all those lines.
Right, yeah. So
Thanks
and
a lot.
now everybody's like, damn it, Tiny. That's why this happened. Come on, man.
Whether you use your tractor to maintain a few acres.
104.7 WAYZ, I'm Andy.
We got a full studio here. I'm Katie.
Tiny.
Louder.
Tiny.
All right, that's a little bit better. I'm going to have to defer to you guys on this one because I'm single, so I can't answer this question.
Okay.
But there's something
We're
that...
shocked.
Nobody is surprised by that. But there is apparently something that you should be doing with your partner and that's going to make you happier in your relationship. And
moving out?
Get your... No. Do you go to bed at the same time as your significant other?
Yes.
The exact same time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not saying we both go to sleep at the same time.
Well, and according to a new study, couples who go into bed at the same time are generally happier than couples who don't. And it's not, you could be doing things. It says like you could watch shows or talk or read or just even scroll on your phones, but just being in bed at the same time leads to a happier relationship.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we're on it.
Okay. Well,
There's not really anything revelatory here, Katie. It's just we do. And Andy and I go to bed at the same time every night together. Well, with our wives, but yes.
Thank you for clarifying that,
You're
Tony.
welcome.
All your favorite
104.7 WAYZ. It's the Tiny and Katie Show. And I have to just hop on here for a second and defend myself because Tiny just told this story a couple minutes ago about the fact that, yes, this is true. I had to get my car inspected. My inspection is up at the end of July. And
For Virginia inspection, by the way.
Right. And I just moved up here from Virginia. I've lived in Virginia for the last almost 10 years. I just know that my inspection sticker says 0723. So I took it to a place to get inspected, and they called me and said, these things are wrong. And also, we won't put the sticker on it because your car is registered to another state. And I said, okay, what do I have to do? And they said, well, you have to go to a notary and get it changed over to the state of Pennsylvania. Well, Tiny is just having a field day with this and is going around telling everybody about the fact that I did this and making fun of me. But however, in my defense, I just thought an inspection's an inspection. If I have to get one, does it really matter where I get it? I just have to go and get my car inspected. It was like a standard inspection across the board, but apparently that's wrong.
Well, correct. However, this did just dawn on me.
Go on.
That you went from living in Pennsylvania, where you had to get inspections
Yes.
all your life, to then moving to Virginia, like you said, for the last 10 years.
Where you have to also get inspections.
Moving back to Pennsylvania.
Correct.
So there's some grace to be granted there.
I just didn't think that I've done a lot of stupid things in my life. I just did not think that was up there at all. Not even top 100.
I wouldn't even put that in the top 100.
The fact that there are 100, I think this is where we have the problem.
Gotta have our country.
Never miss a song.
Keep on coming in waves, keep coming in waves.
104.7 WAYZ. It's Tiny and Katie Show, and the hometown tour is happening again on Friday.
Talk to me about it.
Well, you can obviously join Ben and AJ. Mm-hmm. They're
going to be out in Chambersburg at Dick's Cabinetry.
thank you for just taking it from me.
They're going to be out at Dick's Cabinetry and Flooring between 6 and 10 a.m. And guess what they have?
What do they have?
Six Flags tickets.
Woo! Ride a roller coaster.
Messed up, but we're all right.
104.7 WAYZ. I'm Andy.
I'm Katie. Come on.
I'm Tiny.
Hi, good morning. Tiny.
Good afternoon.
I'm sorry.
In case I don't see you, good night.
Tiny teaches spin class, and I think he does this every Tuesday morning, and he's been asking me to come and join his spin class at 6 a.m.
Because I'm tired of hearing her say, "Oh, Tiny, I haven't exercised in a month."
Well, it's been 2 weeks, but so I decided to wake up early and join him at the spin class. Now, I've never taken a spin class before. Have you taken one?
Never.
Andy? Okay.
And for anyone who doesn't know, it's just a stationary bicycle. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Yes, it's a stationary bike. Well, I'm trying to keep up with everybody, and I'm trying to understand what's going on. And Tiny's throwing out these terms that I don't understand, like hover and isolate and different things like that. And
then I threw her a big time curveball with sprint.
so he says to sprint. So I start pedaling, which I believe is fast, and he says, "No, you have to pedal faster." Well, now I'm pedaling so fast that my chest area is really starting to bounce around. And I said to Tiny, I said, I don't think I physically can anymore because I'm starting to it's starting to become painful.
Well, I told Katie, I said, now, Katie, you do know you're welcome to wear a sports bra to this class.
Which I was wearing, but I guess
then I said, you're welcome to wear a tighter fitting sports bra to this class.
But I asked the ladies around me, I said, is this normal that I'm having this much jiggle and movement and, up and down? And it was really starting to hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
And then my head was bobbing back and forth, and Tiny starts laughing, and he says, you look like you're a baby giraffe that is just learning how to walk for the first time.
I mean, look, I honestly think you should try it again because I know that for your first time you didn't have the breast experience.
Me in Georgia.
It's The List with Tiny.
You just made the list.
On 104.7 WAYZ.
And Katie, thank you.
That's true. Fair enough. For now, at least. We haven't decided quite what to do with you. There's a thread online, Katie. Millennials and Gen Xers are talking about the things from their childhood that the Gen Zers never get to experience or got to experience.
Okay. And what are you? What category do you fall in?
I am in what they... because millennials needed qualifiers, apparently, so I'm what they call an elder millennial.
Okay.
Because I'm on the, late
Elderly
end, or
side.
the early end of that. Yeah.
Got it.
Anyway, so here's some of the highlights. Not having all your screw-ups forever uploaded on the internet. Yeah, never get to experience that.
I'm grateful for that.
Parents that let their kids run free. When I'm down in Ocean City or when I'm at the mall walking around, I would never, obviously she's 3, but let's say when Reagan's 10 to 11 years old, I would never let her ever roam free.
It's crazy. When I was a kid, all the neighborhood kids would get together and we would play flashlight tag and Simon Says and red light, green light. And I have very fond memories of that, but not anymore.
But I'm saying I wouldn't do that, but my parents did.
Yeah.
I could we'd go to the mall and they'd, go to JCPenney and I'd walk up to the toy
Absolutely.
store or whatever.
Absolutely.
Not anymore. Let's see. How about the excitement of getting back developed film?
Oh, that was one of my favorite moments.
I couldn't wait to see all my blurry pictures.
I know. Or when someone would take your camera and take pictures of themselves and you'd get it back and it's just them. I ended friendships over that.
Or they were dark.
Yeah.
Like this is like your head is the only thing that you see and it's nothing else. Or how about even the flash winding up? Like, remember that?
Yes, I remember very well.
And then you snap it
I
off.
still have a roll of film that I would like to get developed. When I went to Cape Town, South Africa years ago, and I did the diving experience in the shark cage, I took pictures of all the sharks that were around me, and I still have that roll of film, and I never got it developed.
This one, browsing the video rental store. Hello, Blockbuster.
That was my Friday night.
And Books and Things. I loved it. Oh, man.
Books and Things.
Yeah, it was in Hagerstown. It was basically this area type thing. It was just
Yeah.
another video rental store. but-
Blockbuster was my jam.
Hey, it's Ben. It's the Tiny and Katie show, filling in for the wake up call with Ben and AJ. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Trim Tech Plumbing. Don't let plumbing issues spoil your day. Call the dedicated professional team at Trim Tech Plumbing. They're going to get your drains flowing and fix your leaks fast. If you would like to get a free quote, call Trim Tech Plumbing now at 717-377-9056. Also available 24/7. Tiny receives a text from me yesterday and it says, Tiny, I need help. That's all it
No,
said.
Tiny, I think I need help.
I need help. And Tiny writes back, ? And then I said, I think my cat Winnie might be stuck behind one of the cabinets. And I'm going to defer to you because you're much better at painting a picture than I am about the setup of what was happening.
Let me just tell you that I had gone through one heck of a morning. I was tired. My day, aside from going to the fireworks, was winding down. I was cooking some chicken, getting ready for the week. Couldn't have been more in the middle of anything, right? Katie sends me this text, tells me, and I said, can you please explain? She said, I think Winnie's stuck. Well, stuck where? Sends me a video showing me, and it didn't, not that it's Katie's fault, didn't do a good job of explaining what was actually happening. So I call her, and I said, what are we dealing with here? Katie breaks into the trying to explain to me it doesn't work. I said, all right. She goes, should I call the police? I said, well, Katie, I don't necessarily think that's their department.
Well, I was thinking more of the fire department.
Well, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, because, kitten in a tree, kitten behind a cabinet, fire department.
Yeah. So I said, just hold tight. Give me 5 minutes. I'll leave here. Let me get straightened up.
I mean, I'm having a panic attack.
And I am a sweating hog of a mess. Could not be less suited to do anything except climb on a roof. I get to Katie's house. She shows me where this cat could not have been more out of reach, really. It's a small apartment. I don't see how she could have been any more out of reach. We are crawling. I'm hanging out of one window. We're both in the same window. Katie's on the inside hanging out. I'm on the outside hanging in. Then we switch places. It is ridiculous. We are using a potato masher.
Oh, which, by the way, that fell behind the cabinet, and I still don't have that.
Well, so is the colander that's down there, too.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of accoutrements that are
What
back
were you
there.
doing with this cat? The point is, we get the cat back, and Katie wound up taking a picture of me. This roof was slippery. I'm wearing flip-flops. I am not dressed for this at all.
No, it was a little scary. And I said to Tiny, if I can get on the roof, because there's a window that leads right to the roof, which all I have to do is go around the corner, and then I can put my hand in and pull
so
it out.
you understand this, it's a porch roof from her neighbor down below her. So it's
Yes.
not like it might seem confusing. Check out the pictures, Tiny WAYZ on Facebook. You will see that we're both hanging out here and having a really good time getting Katie's cat.
Here's where you can catch
104.7 WAYZ. I'm Tiny.
It's Katie.
Where's your headphones?
I'm not prepared. I literally just walked in the door.
Katie walks in and drops a counter full of stuff.
So people have always kind of made fun of me for this. Every time I travel, I have like 10 bags.
And 3 bottles.
And I always have, here's what I always travel with. My purse, which is basically a satchel, my lunchbox, and then normally I have my workout bag. And when I was teaching, I had my computer bag, which
Right.
I don't have that today. Then I normally have my coffee, my water bottle, and then a seltzer water that I drink at some point during
And your
the day.
lunch.
And my lunch, yeah. Correct. So
Yeah.
I do walk in with a lot of things. Like you can't miss when I walk in. And it was so funny.
You can't miss. You can walk in naked, and you wouldn't be able to. Well, okay, hang on.
Yeah.
You can't miss Katie walking in somewhere anyway.
Well, I was trying to get into the back door and it wasn't opening. And Andy was standing in front of it and he looked at Blake, our general manager, and said, guaranteed that's Katie, because the door wasn't opening.
Yes.
And then in I walk and Blake starts laughing and he said, Andy called that. And I said, well, that's because anytime there's an issue, something's not working, or there's some kind of chaos that's happening.
Murphy's Law.
I'm guaranteed I'm behind it.
You know what's interesting is about all the bags, and I think that it is a woman thing. I'm sorry. Is Mary's the same way? She goes into the office one day a week, and it's on Monday, and she packs like she's going on vacation.
Well, you have to have your purse and you have to have your lunch, and then normally there's a gym bag or a computer bag or a work bag of some sorts.
Right?
Yeah,
You're lucky if I show up to work with a shirt on. I mean, realistically.
And the world heaves a collective sigh of relief. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Tiny and Katie Show, all brought to you by Roots Hair Design in Marion. They offer all kinds of services: cut, color, highlight, hair extensions, lash extensions. And don't forget the hidden gem, Kathy. She can take care of all of your skincare needs, facials, microderms, smooth and sculpt, chemical peels, all kinds of great things that they offer at Roots Hair Design in Marion. And if you mention the Tiny and Katie Show, you will get $10 off your new client pricing.
It's the Tiny and Katie Show.